Saying miracle, that's big chill. Give you zero, no good, good. That's a board wipe, no refill. We absolute, that's overkill. That destiny, you adopted that. I'm a hero.
Yugi peoples, welcome to the deck profile. You know, it's kind of rare that I do 2 deck profiles in 1 week, but yeah, I've been promising this Nebula Neos deck profile for a minute, and for some reason, I just never got around to it, skipped over it. So we need to go ahead and get that out there for the peoples. And you know, y'all might be wondering why Nebula Neos, and that's because like Cosmos Neos is a lot better, but with Cosmos Neos, you have to design your deck like quite a bit different because you need to be able to get that third attribute off inside of the graveyard, and you know it's just a little bit more complicated. You have to, you know, have like some kind of prisma or solid soldier line, you know, just some kind of extra way to get that third name. And what I like about the Nebula Neos deck is it's like you just go Infernal Devicer and you can add both of the pieces and you're good. You know, well, of course you need the vanilla Neos also, but there are like more than just what is you call it? More than just Spirit of Neos, because Fusion Destiny. With Fusion Destiny, you can also dump the vanilla Neos that way. So you know there are games where I've opened up with Favorite Contact or drew into Favorite Contact because of, say, you know, Liquid Soldier or Crosskeeper, and then I'm just like, oh, okay, well I already got that, so I can Infernal Devicer, add the 2 pieces, and I can Fusion Destiny, you know, Mally and the Vanilla Neos to get him into the graveyard, and you know I got Nebula Neos play. So yeah, sometimes I prefer to use this one. It feels like a little bit more consistent than the Cosmos Neos line. It's just like a little bit less powerful, you know, in which the deck could also be modified a little bit to make Nebula Neos a little bit better by adding in like more hand traps. But because of the way the format was with Kashtira, you know, you gotta include, you know, just like stuff like Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse in order to be able to, you know, stop that what's his name, Arise Heart. So yeah, let's go ahead and shout out my sponsors. Meta TCG, you know, they sponsor me. They you know, they pay for quite a bit of stuff, my play mat, my sleeves, and all that stuff. And if y'all go check them out and use my code MHERO, you always find it in the description with a link of my videos. And yeah, you'll save yourself 5% on Yu-Gi-Oh product, and not just Yu-Gi-Oh, but Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, you know, and all that good stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. Now, we'll start off with our elemental heroes. Of course, 2 Stratos, pretty staple. Sometimes you want to run 3 depending on the deck. Then for, you know, this particular deck, we got the 1 elemental hero, Graceful Charity, because we like to draw 2, discard 1. Only 1 Shadow Mist, which is coming pretty standard inside of my hero decks. Like, I just don't see the need for a second one a lot of times, especially, you know, now that we want to special summon him off of Wake Up Your Elemental Hero to go search that mass chain. So yeah, I've been playing with 1 Shadow Mist, you know, pretty dominantly in most of my decks. And then, of course, the 1 Vanilla Neos, because you need that to make Nebula Neos and any of his friends. And then 1 Spirit of Neos, so that you can search out that Favorite Contact in case you don't draw it. So yeah, also he allows you to search out either Favorite Contact or Instant Contact, because going second, you're probably going to side out some of the stuff, but you still want to be able to have Instant Contact for Flame Wingman. That way you can Shining Neos your opponent going second, because like going second, you're probably not gonna Nebula Neos your opponent. So yeah, those are the E-Hero lineup. Very small E-Hero package. Then we'll have our Destiny Heroes, 1 Plasma with 2 Mally and Denier. Like, whenever I run Fusion Destiny, it's just kind of hard not to include Plasma, because Fusion Destiny does DPE and Plasma. So you know, it's kind of pretty standard, you know, hero thing to know the Fusion Destiny with Plasma and DPE line. So whenever you play Fusion Destiny, you probably want to include those 2 cards. No Dark Angel inside of this deck, just because the combo lines are a little bit different. And yeah, so I didn't include Dark Angel in here. There go those right there. Even smaller D Hero package. Then we got our Vision Heroes, which is, you know, even smaller weird package for me. Just one Ferris, one Increase, and two Vions. Like most of the time you're searching for Ferris off of the Stratos, whether it be normal summoning Stratos or special summon him out with a hero lives. And yeah, so, you know, all the time I don't feel like you necessarily just need three. I've been doing pretty good with just one of them off in there. Then, of course, just one Increase because that's a preference thing for me. Some people prefer two. You know, it's all a matter of preference and how you feel about it. And then, of course, the two Vions. Small Vision Hero package. And then our, you know, other needed little utility monsters, two Cross Keepers. Good way to special summon out that elemental hero Spirit of Neos. Also, you know, discard Nate off of Graceful Charity before you go into like wake up your elemental hero with your Miracle Fusion and stuff will give you the chance to get that draw to discard one off of your Crosskeeper effect. And then these two Neos patients because we need them in order to make the Nebula Neos. So yeah, and you can search them off Infernal Devicer, which makes it a whole lot easier. So even if you don't draw one, it's really, really good because you can just search both of them off of Infernal Devicer. So that's pretty much my monster lineup outside of my hand traps. Two Droll because Droll was pretty good this format. And inside my locals, you know, there's quite a bit of rogue. So rogue, yeah. So Droll is pretty good against those. Then two Ash, Nib, and Imperm. So, you know, when you see the one Nib, one Imperm, of course, cross out targets. And, you know, I wanted to run like the hand traps that I felt like would be most effective across the board in twos, which is why you see the Droll and the Ash both in two. And then just one of the Imperm and Nib. Like going second with this deck because of the few hand traps, I prefer like board breaking cards like Evenly Matched, Dark Ruler No More, you know, stuff like that to, you know, to counter my opponent when going second. So, yep, this is my hand trap lineup, mostly for cross out designator targets because this deck loses pretty bad to hand traps. So, gotta have some way to stop those. That's pretty much my monster lineup. And we'll look at our spells, which are, you know, pretty standard for, you know, heroes. 3 Fusion Destiny, 3 A Hero Lives. Then me, preference theme, because I like crossout designator, call by with 2 crossout designators. And then our little Spirit of Neos package with 2 instant contacts and 2 in shuffles and instant contact. And then we got 2 Book of Eclipse because this format is kind of crazy with Kashtira. Then our one-ofs, of course, Rhoda, Polly, Miracle, and then 1 Mass Change, and then the one other of our Little Spirit of Neos package, Favorite Contact. So only 2 traps total inside of the deck, Favorite Contact and Imperm. Yeah, nothing I would change about this. I feel like only 1 Mass Change. Like I said, like if you really need it, you're gonna search it out basically using DPE and wake up your elemental hero. 2 Book of Eclipse, Kashtira, and I know a lot of people prefer Book of Moon over Book of Eclipse, but I feel like across the board, Book of Eclipse is like a little bit better in my opinion. And you know, even if they do ash it, I feel like okay, go ahead. Because then that means I can Fusion Destiny or Hero Lives and stuff and not have to worry about getting ashed at that point. So, you know, it is what it is at that point. Unfortunately, until we get that Flame Wingman, like you have to run like this small little package here in order to be able to bring out Nebula Neos. But like once that Flame Wingman comes out, you could actually like cut all 3 of these cards and just add the Favorite Contact because basically, you know, you would use your Infernal Devicer to grab the other 2 and you don't need to special summon the Spirit of Neos to get any of these cards. Like the only time you would want to do it is if you were trying to get you don't need these 3 cards at all. So that'll be a whole lot better. When we get that card, you know, it's going to open up a lot of avenues and a lot of opportunity for heroes to be a whole lot better. So yeah, this is my spell lineup. Pretty kinda standard in a Neos type build, whether you're trying to hand loop or special summon Cosmos Neos. You know, the number of instant contacts might be different, and then you probably wouldn't run Mass Change at all. And yeah, so this is that little lineup. The deck is 43 cards with I think like there's what like eight going second cards to really count, but like a lot of times I also count Fusion Destiny as a going second card because yeah, it's gonna definitely trade with a negate, such as like you would with any of your hand traps. Is basically like trades with a negate, because if you do resolve the Fusion Destiny and get DPE Plasma out there, you're like negating like their whole monster board and stuff. So a lot of times I count that as going second card. So probably like a total of 11 going second cards. Then we will look at my extra deck. Elemental heroes, of course we got Big Chill, Flame Wingman, Super Saiyan Flame Wingman. Then Wake Up, normal Flame Wingman before he goes Super Saiyan. And we got our Nebula Neos, of course, and the Shining. And, this is pretty standard for, a Cosmos Neos type line, except if you were running, Cosmos Neos, you would have him included inside of this little small lineup right here. But yeah, definitely have to make sure to include the Flame Wingman with the instant contact, because before I hadn't been doing that, and then I would have this inside of my extra deck and had with no way to summon it because there's no Flame Wingman. So yeah, can't wait till we can cut this out. Also, be really, 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 really nice. Pretty standard thing. So that's it for those. And then Destiny Hero package, 2 Phoenix Enforcer with 1 Dystopia. And Dystopia basically for time, and then 2 DPEs because Kashtira exists and I might need that second one in case they banish one of them. That's that lineup. Then just my other instant contact target, the Marine Dolphin. Also, if you do happen to be going first and you have that instant contact and you happen to have vanilla Neos like out on the board or in your graveyard, you can get that discard from your opponent's hand effect too. So it can come in pretty handy. And yes, also a water, so in case you need to Miracle Fusion and you need that water target so that you can go into Ab Zero because you can't get to Graceful Charity, he provides a little bit of that also. Then my mass heroes, just 1 Dark Law, 1 Blast. There's only 1 mass change off in there in case I need to resolve Stratos and I have, mass change in order to dodge something, or, I'm playing against a deck that's pretty weak to Dark Law. Then, yeah, we have those options off in there as well. And then my, lineup, what is these called? Link Monsters lineup. The Infernal Devicer, Keys to the Deck, Wonder Driver for recycling Poly or Miracle Fusion, and then Cross Crusader because you'll need that if you go the Fusion Destiny line. So, yep. That's my extra deck. Then into my side deck. My side deck has been pretty standard, like pretty much across like all my decks. Just the 3 Ghost Spell because Gimmick Puppet exists, and it's also pretty good against Labyrinth, which I messed up and didn't do the Labyrinth. If y'all notice, like even my hand traps are secret now. I try to like make my whole deck secret rare, so shout out to Meta TCG for helping me with that. So yeah, I like the secret rare look. Then spells, 3 Dark Ruler, good against Sprite, good against so many different decks that you want to just have a single card that if you draw it going second, you're probably going to win. Then Feather Duster because Trap Tricks and Labyrinth exists. 2 Cosmic Cyclones. I kind of like interchange these with Lightning Storm and stuff, just kind of depending on what's going on, because Cosmic Cyclone is better generically because some decks like to side in anti-spell. And yeah, so sometimes even this change out and have to run the 3rd Cosmic Cyclone just because anti-spell is like one of those cards that just beats you with heroes. So yeah, those are my spells. Then my traps, 3 Evenly, 3 D-Barrier. D-Barrier is just good, wins a lot of games. If you can't go like full combo or your opponent hand traps you, it gives you like a second chance. And then 3 Evenly Matched, because yeah, Trap Tricks and Labyrinth and decks like that exist, and Evenly Matched is just like an all-around great card against most decks. So 15 card side deck, And yeah, that's my Nebula Neos deck. Like I said, I tend to run it when like I want to run something a little bit different, but I don't feel like trying to have that extra effort to get the third name into my graveyard or get it into my hand, or you know, that third attribute to get it there in order to be able to special summon out the Cosmos Neos. So yep, I like the Nebula Neos build. I do wish he was a little bit more powerful. Like if you do run this deck, one thing to keep in mind is that he will not work against, you know, on summon effects. Like you'd have to use him to negate an effect that, you know, the monster needs to be on the board. It's not a quick effect, and you know, just activate something kind of like Gigantic Sprite. Like I use it against, you know, stuff like Gigantic Sprite is a good target to go ahead and Nebula Neos. You know, y'all saw me do it against Cross Crusader, because you know he has to tribute a Destiny hero monster in order to add one. So that's also a good one to do. Just like one thing is make sure you do it before they activate the effect to special summon. It. Yeah, just make sure like whenever you do the Nebula Neos, make sure to do it before they activate the effect of that monster. You know, you can be like, you know, on the resolution of summon a card, go ahead and flip up favorite contact and, you know, bring out Nebula Neos, negate it. And don't forget to draw. Like one of the regrets is that's like that Effect Veiler is not more effective, because I feel like that's like a hand trap that you really want to include inside of the Nebula Neos build, which I'm pretty sure it can be worked off inside of there, but it's like one of the few hand traps that you can draw with Nebula Neos and still be able to, you know, activate it like very, very effectively. Because like if your opponent's already like, you know, pretty deep into their turn and you draw like Ash or Droll, you know, it's probably past the point when those cards are like really, really effective, I guess, depending on the deck. But like Effect Veiler is like really good at any point, you know, during their combo line and stuff. So yep, that's my Nebula Neos deck. Hope y'all enjoy it. Good luck to those of y'all who see it. And yeah, don't forget to check out my sponsors at Meta TCG. And appreciate everybody for staying a while to listen. And I will catch y'all on the next video.
Man, he come through, he level up, he go cool, he's shining out and popping to over 9K. That's a breakthrough. We on top now. Here's a look at our world.